This is what would happen to your body if you were sent into space without a spacesuit. There is no way we could survive for long in space without the protection of our spaceship or spacesuit. And this is exactly why all the astronauts are always suited up whenever they go out into space. But what actually happens to the human body when it's not protected by a spacesuit? Well, there are many things that can happen to your body and it won't be pretty. So make sure to watch until the end to see just how bad things could get. Before we start, be sure to hit the like button for more videos. Also stick around until the end to find out what horrifying thing could happen to your body after only 15 minutes in space. We all know that outer space is a vacuum, but do you really know what that means? To put it simply, it's a void or emptiness where there's no matter. It's completely empty. The reason that outer space is a vacuum is because there are no molecules in it. This is why sounds can't travel through space, because sound needs molecules to travel. If you were sent into space without a suit, all the oxygen in your lungs would be sucked out immediately. This means you'd be unable to breathe and it would pass out in less than 15 seconds. You wouldn't be able to do much after this point, but thankfully you'd probably be dead, so you wouldn't feel anything. But before you pass out, you'll probably try and scream, but no sound will come out of your mouth. This is because all the air has been sucked out of your lungs, meaning you can't make any noise. But there's something else that's happening to your body while this is going on. All the blood vessels in your body would explode due to the lack of pressure. You see, when you're on Earth, you're being crushed by the immense gravity, which makes your blood and other liquids in your body thicker. If you were in space, all this pressure would be released, causing the liquids in your body to become thinner and the blood vessels to explode. This would mean that your entire body would be covered in blood and other bodily fluids. However, you wouldn't feel anything at this point since you'd already be unconscious from the lack of oxygen. Another thing that would happen to your body is that it would begin to swell up. This is because all the gases in your body would expand due to the lower pressure. This would cause your stomach to expand and could even rupture, along with every other organ in your body. It is safe to say that at this point, your body would look very different than it does now. You might also notice that you're floating around, and this is because there's no gravity in space. This means that you could float around very easily and even go into orbit. However, eventually you would run out of oxygen and die. After this, your body would begin to decay and you would eventually become nothing but dust. Let's say you manage to stay alive in space for some reason. Maybe you have a superpower or something. Well, you'd still have to deal with the effects of radiation. When you're on Earth, you're protected from most of the radiation that comes from the sun. However, in space, you're not protected at all. In fact, if you were in space without a suit, you'd receive a lethal dose of radiation within just one day. To make things worse, this radiation would damage your DNA and increase your chances of getting cancer. That's not all, though. It could also cause a lot of other problems, such as heart disease, stroke, and cataracts. This means that if you manage to survive for a while in space without a spacesuit, you'd probably die from radiation poisoning. Now let us say you managed to avoid all of these dangers and survived in space for an extended period of time. What would your body look like? Well, first off, your skin would begin to turn blue. This is because the lack of oxygen would cause your blood to stop carrying oxygen as effectively. This means that your organs wouldn't get enough oxygen and would begin to shut down one by one. As this process continues, your skin would turn a deeper shade of blue and you would eventually suffocate. Let's say you managed to survive this long in space. What would happen next? Well, the next danger you'd have to face is extreme temperatures. In some parts of space, it can be incredibly hot, while in others, it can be freezing cold. You need a spacesuit to keep you alive in these conditions. But if you didn't have one, your body would quickly begin to freeze. As your body froze, you would feel intense pain as your muscles and organs were ripped apart by the ice crystals forming in your body. Eventually, your entire body would be frozen solid and you would become a popsicle. If you were in a part of space that was very hot, the opposite would happen. Your body would begin to burn and char. This would cause intense pain as your skin and muscles were cooked by the heat. Eventually, your entire body would turn into a crispy, crunchy snack. So as you can see, it's a very dangerous place without a spacesuit. Even if you manage to survive all of these things, you'd eventually run out of food and water and starve to death. However, there's something else that could happen to your body after only 15 minutes in space. And it's one of the most terrifying things imaginable. You see, when you're in space, you're constantly bombarded by dangerous debris. This includes things like rocks, bolts, and even paint flecks. If you were in space without a spacesuit, one of these pieces of debris could hit you and instantly kill you. It could pierce your body and cause massive internal damage. Or it could knock you unconscious and leave you to die slowly of exposure. To make things worse, there's no such thing as a quick death in space. Even if you were killed instantly, your body wouldn't feel anything. This is because your brain would be dead, but your body would still be alive. Your body would continue to float around in space until it eventually ran out of oxygen and died. So as you can see, space is a very dangerous place. And it's a good thing that we have spacesuits to protect us, otherwise we'd all be dead. Now imagine this, you and your partner decide to take a romantic trip into space. You both get suited up and prepare to enjoy the view of Earth from above. However, right as you're about to enter your spaceship, disaster strikes. The door of the spaceship suddenly opens and your partner gets sucked inside. You desperately try to grab onto them, but it's no use, they're gone. You watch helplessly as the door closes and your partner is gone forever. Now it's time to make the journey alone. You enter the ship and strap yourself in. As the engines ignite and you blast off into space, you call and help, but think of your partner and what might have happened to their body if they hadn't been wearing a spacesuit. Would they have been able to survive for a while, or would they have been instantly killed by the vacuum of space? You shake off the thought and focus on the task at hand. You have a mission to complete and there's no time to waste. And there you have it, a look at what would happen to your body if you were sent into space without a spacesuit. From the vacuum of space to the debris field, there are many dangers that lurk in the great beyond. It's a good thing that we have technology to protect us from these dangers, but what would happen to our bodies if we weren't protected? Only time will tell.